not knocking them, but the indie guys, they all work hard. They really love it. They want to elevate themselves. They work hard. What are your thoughts on, you said they were putting it all out there.
It's like they put it all on the line. They're leaving it all in the ring. They have everything to lose. They have very little to gain that night. They may gain something long-term over 5 or 10 or 15 years it takes them to get to one of these top-paying positions. But that night, they're risking life and limb and security and everything they have to entertain people. You know what I mean? For a little to no payoff oftentimes. That's love of the game. That's love of the sport.
Look at a guy who I saw down in Southern Cal for UPW, and then they would always come up to APW, All Pro Wrestling. Chris Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Keiji Sakota rather, and Spanky, Brian Kendrick. And to see their evolution on the indies, just progressively, it's just a pleasure to see them grow. And now they're the top, independent guys, or Samoa Joe. Top guys, class athletes, and to watch them grow and flourish and have all the success, and then obviously some of them going to Japan, which is really the high point for an indie wrestler, is being asked to go to Japan, a little lesser extent to Mexico, but that's where it's at. And the independent scene, that's, for an old fart like me, that is where it's at, and that's where the enjoyment is, and the love of the business still. And all of those guys, most all of them respect their history. And I don't mean to leave out the women, like a Melissa Anderson, to watch them grow, or Sarah Del Rey, who's the absolute best worker on the planet. Who are some of the talents that you have working for you? I mean, you've had your share of all.
Yeah, with Juggalo Championship Wrestling, I have the pleasure, really, of working with everyone from Mick Foley, Bob Backlund, Greg Valentine, Necro Butcher. I could list off dozens.
See, it's not just the young wrestlers,
right.
But he gets to work with on the indie scene. You have some of the legends that may not have a signed contract that still have that love of the business. Like, I don't know if I can swear, but like Ed Leslie,
Sure.
Brutus Beefcake was on a show where everybody got effed on their paydays, but he's in the ring and he already knew everyone was going to get screwed on their money at the Cow Palace, that fiasco with the thieves.
Sure.
And he just yells in the middle of the ring, he goes, "I fucking love this biz." Just like that. And not the greatest worker, but the love he has for the business. He was a territory boy. Now he's doing indies. So that was really very heartwarming. And so it's not just the young guys that we love on the indie scene, but whether you're a grizzled veteran or you're a class guy like Necro Butcher, somebody we love.
Scott Hall, Sean Waltman, Colt Cabana. There you go, Scott Hall and Colt Cabana.
Colt Cabana.
You could go see them on the same show. In no other sport or industry do you have all these generations come together, you know what I mean? You could have the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, Bob Backlund, and M-Dog 20, or, you know what I mean, Sammy Callahan. There's so many people out there, and the thing with the Juggalo world, I think that's so interesting, Juggalo Championship Wrestling, like you said, it brings all these worlds together under one banner, and the banner is wrestling. There'll be women's matches, legends matches, some hardcore type stuff, high flying, all of it, compelling storylines and characters all put together just to entertain, to give these people a spotlight. And we all know there's people that are in it for passion, like us two guys, and there's people that are just in it for paydays. And a lot of times that'll come through in their performances, in your own personal dealings with them. Because if you're motivated by love of the game, you have a completely different outlook and mentality than if you're just looking to collect the next payday and move on to the next town.
Lastly, the two guys that it's like an honor, and I mean, I've shot and marked out for Vern Gagne against Billy Robinson, Jack Briscoe against Dory Funk Jr., Bruno against Don Leo Jonathan at Madison Square Garden. Shot all of that ringside. But Colt Cabana, I'll go anywhere to shoot Colt Cabana, just amazing, totally loves the business. Kevin Steen,
sure.
And Davey Richards. I don't even know I would classify these guys as indie, but they are indie wrestlers.
They're the
indie at heart, love their history, they do the business proud. I mean, they're class. And that's what indie wrestling is about. Class, love of the biz, dedication, devotion, respect.
And paying that ultimate price, because for every Colt Cabana, for every El Generico, for every CM Punk, and every person that can break through, not even the glass ceiling, it's like a steel reinforced concrete ceiling to break through from an independent level to the top. And for every guy that does that, there's 500 guys that don't. And there's 500 guys that might have broke their neck along the way, or ruined their marriage, or lost their job, or all of the above, while balancing a possibly the kayfabe word is personal demons. We call them substance abuse problems. You know what I mean? There's a lot to deal with. You're really putting a lot on the line for what is a very long shot at making it, you know, but I guess the cream rises to the top.
You know, I've often asked on the indie level, when Vince killed the territories, and you know, a lot of that was not so much Vince, but the promoters just not being able to get along, sad. You know, we had geniuses like Eddie Graham and Bill Watts and Jerry Jarrett and Tunney, the real Tunney in Toronto. They just all couldn't get together, Bob Geigel, etc. But so when the territories went, which is my thing, the territories, and now we have all these indies, aren't the indies the new territories in some respects?
In a way, I think it's just it's less organized. Like the indies can be the new territories when you are a Colt Cabana or a Kevin Steen, because it's the talent that transcends the town, and then you're at a certain level, so you can come around and get paid, work all the towns, meet all the people. But I think it's when you're not getting paid to be there, and when you don't have the hookups or that star power, it's a lot harder. Sure, you could. It's just a long time between that Sunday show in Arkansas and that Thursday night show in Asheville, North Carolina. You know.
And last thing, indie wrestlers, please keep the tradition alive. Besides all the stuff we've discussed, learn Carney. Learn Carney.